The refrigerants that we use inside the systems are better for the environment. We can do so much more with them now.
This is the Checka Pro Radio Show. Checka Pro Joe has assembled a team of pre-qualified home service contractors to bring you the latest in services, products, and techniques. Now, here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Checka Pro Joe.
We love our homes, but there's a problem. We have all these appliances, from dishwashers to refrigerators and water heaters. We also have an HVAC system, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. The question is, how long does that equipment last? They say a dishwasher may last 10 years, water heater maybe 7 to 10 years nowadays. Here's the real question. When you're investing in your heating and air conditioning system, how long can you expect that to last? I've asked an expert in heating and cooling to join me here on the program today. His name is Bruce Gammon from Gammon's Heating and Cooling. Bruce, how are you?
I'm great, Joe. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. So I'm sure you hear this question all the time as people are thinking about investing in a brand new system. How long will this new heating and air conditioning equipment last?
That's a great question. And I'm going to start off by saying my mindset has changed over the years with this, with the answer to this. Okay, you ready for this, Joe?
Absolutely.
All right. When I started out in the trade, and I may have worked a summer or two, a little bit in the 90s, 95, 96, during the high school time, and soon after, get into the industry. We would patch oil tanks, we would patch heat exchangers inside furnaces. We were the Band-Aid kings. Let's just Band-Aid everything and make it last. Over time, equipment's involved into much better. The technology's better. The refrigerants that we use inside the systems are better for the environment. We can do so much more with them now. And I answer this like this, how long did the Model T last? I've seen people drive them in parades. All right. You can keep Band-Aiding that Model T. You can keep putting paint on it. You can keep putting new tires on it. You can keep it running. I was into collecting old antique John Deere tractors for a long time. And, my oldest one was in 1936, and that thing just ran just fine. But let's talk about this. Has anybody ever thought about this scenario? What's the cost of ownership over a 10 period of time of owning a piece of equipment? The cost of owning a new high efficiency piece of equipment could be much less in your monthly payments than what it would cost to keep operating a 20-year-old piece of equipment.
Oh, it's absolutely true. And there's many reasons for that. Of course, efficiencies. You have to keep fixing, which takes time and money.
Sure. And the other thing is that, let's talk about electric cars and cars that are getting 30, 40 miles to a gallon. What's the cost of ownership over that car or truck over the next 10 years versus maintaining what you have and keep driving what you have? It's only getting 16 miles to a gallon. So I think the industry needs to look at things a little bit different, rather than the manufacturer says that should last 15 years, 10 years, yada, yada. Let's look at the condition of the piece of equipment, and let's look at what it's going to cost you to own this piece of equipment over the next 10 years. So that would be my answer to that.
Bruce, I'm going to interject here with some thoughts because it really came to my mind when you were talking about cars, automobiles, or tractors. A number of years ago, I made a decision to drive late model vehicles. Yes, I'm putting money into it. But here's the good news. I have the latest technology. It's the safest technology, and I don't have to worry about it. So when I'm at work, my wife's not going to call me and tell me the AC system stopped again. Oh, it did. This is the third time this month. Call the guys out. I much rather know it's a brand new system, and I'm not going to have any trouble. And if I do, guess what? It's under warranty. Isn't that nice?
That's right. And, it's under warranty. You're going to have with us, we offer maintenance programs, warranty programs that go with that new piece of equipment. So we take care of it for the next 10, 12 years for you. It's set it, forget it. It's done. We're taken care of. And, how's that feel when your wife calls you at work, Joe, and says that to you 3 or 4 times a month?
No, it's frustrating, but I'm like, hey, I think we saved an extra $50 by not getting a new one. Maybe. But what's your time worth? I mean, really, when you are constantly repairing and replacing parts on an old system, Not to mention the pans are rusted, and it's just so nice when you haul the old system out. And it really becomes apparent, Bruce, too, when you haul it out and it's on the front lawn and the homeowner looks at it and says, that was really what was cooling or heating my home? Uh-huh. You see the rust here, sir? It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely. And how do you think that technician feels? The technician's out there and he's constantly putting Band-Aids on the system, and you're going head to head with the tech. You're frustrated with him. He's frustrated with the job. And, you're just taking out of your money out of your pocket and throwing it out the window. Make good investments, invest in good, high quality pieces of equipment that are going to save you money over the length of time of ownership.
Bruce and his team at Gammon's really love their customers, but they don't need to see them every month. So consider getting a new system when it's time. And it could be 6 years. It could be 16 years. But have Gammon's come out and take a look, and they'll tell you, really, by assessing it, where it is. It's like getting a physical from the doctor. They'll give you a good idea of how your health is. Gammon's Heating and Cooling, Bruce Gammon is the guy. All of his information is listed in the description of this podcast, so it's easy to reach them for any of your heating and cooling needs. Thanks so much, Bruce. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
Check-A-Pro is your local source for pre-qualified contractors. Stay tuned for more of the Check-A-Pro Radio Show.